People are asking me all the time, where should I invest my money? Is now a good time to invest? What do you think about the market, whether it's real estate or whether it's the stock market? Well, this is what I really think about investing. You've got to figure out your investor DNA. Risk isn't in the investment, it's in you, the investor. So if you want to be a better investor, I've got 5 levers, and I use the term levers because it creates leverage when you leverage this methodology. It's not about borrowing money and taking risk. It's not about scaling a business and working harder. It's about leveraging knowledge so that you can create something called economic independence. That's having enough recurring revenue and cash flow that comes from your assets and your business that you just maintain from a higher level of kind of maintenance and monitoring versus being in the grind and the one earning the dollar through the hard work. And when that creates enough cash flow to cover your basic expenses, you're economically independent. 5 levers look like this. Number 1, recover cash. If you're losing money to the taxes, if you're losing money to interest, if you're losing money to hidden fees and commissions inside of investments, or you're paying duplicate coverages or costs with insurances, that's money that's rightfully yours. And just by finding that, that can give you a boosted return immediately so you have more cash. Number 2, engineer wealth. What is that economic independence number for you? What's your monthly expenses? Now let's reverse engineer. What are the quickest ways to get there? Is it paying off a loan with an underperforming asset? Is it refinancing a loan so you get more cash flow? Is it investing in your existing business so it starts to grow and produce more? Is it investing in better employees? Is it investing in yourself to become a better investor? You've got to focus and get really dialed in on what you're going to be best at instead of diversified into things that you don't know anything about that take forever to develop. The third thing is to accelerate investment income. That's the cash flow investor. Is there anything you have right now that you can turn into cash flow? Whether that happens to be a retirement plan that's not kicking off cash flow. I've had other videos on how you can get to that without a penalty, so it starts to create cash flow for you today. Whether that's your credit score that can help you create cash flow, there's several strategies and things that have been done that way. Or whether it's you start thinking like a cash flow investor and you say, what can I do to invest money so it starts paying me every single month? For me, that came from the businesses I developed and the content that I share. All right, the fourth one is to scale business revenue. Whether you're an entrepreneur working inside of an organization or an entrepreneur creating an organization, the bottom line is you want upside potential. Entrepreneurial, you want to figure out how do you contribute to the bottom line and get to participate in that. Figure that out because that's going to help you grow your income and therefore have more to save, invest, and do with. And if you're a business owner, consider where can you invest in the right people, the right processes, or automated technology through procedures that will allow you to build more wealth because one of your greatest assets is going to be that business. And then the fifth lever is to make it count. You're your greatest asset, not a stock, bond, or piece of real estate. Invest back into yourself, your skill sets, your quality of life, relaxation, rejuvenation, recreation. That quality of life at the forefront so money's not your only indicator of success, but how you live your life on a daily basis. So when you do show up to be in your business or working inside of a business, you're the best version of who you are. You're not exhausted. You're not worn out. You're not wishing that you could be someone else or somewhere else. And instead, you build a life you love. Once you're economically independent, you have permission to grow wealth at an unprecedented rate. You have that safety and foundation that most people yearn for, or when they turn 65, they hope they're going to get. The news is 98% of them never get there. Why? Because they're accumulating, they're sacrificing, they're scrimping. They're in a savings mentality rather than an investing mentality. They're scared to invest in themselves, so they're hoping that the stock market's going to take them there, and the stock market has been a massive disappointment over time. There's times, sure, where it averages 10%, but averages don't matter. You want to know why? Because if you have 100 grand and you lose 10%, you go down to 90. You make 10% back, you're not even back to 100. You're at 99,000. You lost the time value of money. There were still fees coming out of it. So invest and gamble on yourself. Figure out economic independence, invest in these 5 levers, and really build that economic independence so you can have a much better life along the way.